So I was reading in the Lives of the Prophets, um, in this book, and what really struck me was when I was reading Ezekiel's portion, which is on page 529. So if you guys want to pull yours out, um, go ahead and turn to page 529.
I turned right to it. That's weird.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, speed.
Yeah. And and I read this last night. And I was like, oh my goodness, I can't wait to share this with you guys because you've been on the journey with me.
Can
Okay.
you, I'm sorry, could you tell me that one more time again? My page is different because I have the big book. I don't have the little book.
No, this one, you don't have
Yeah.
this one?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Is that the big one or the little one?
This is
The bigger
this
one?
The 54 book.
the 54 book. Yeah.
Okay, because I have the 100 book.
Oh, no, we don't have the 50, we don't have the 100 book. I know, I know.
So what chapter are you looking at so I can look it up?
Lives of the Prophets.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. So those of you in the complete 54 book Apocrypha on page 529, looking at Ezekiel, if we look at verse 6, it says, this prophet gave a sign to the people that they should pay attention to the river Kibar. So, where do we see the river Kibar? We see the river Kibar in the very first chapter of Ezekiel. And that is where we get the four signs right off the bat, right?
The four Mazzaroth signs
The four
specifically.
Mazzaroth signs of oh, I hate it when my brain just does not want to work. Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and the
Scorpion.
eagle, which is actually Scorpio. And um and also when he's at the river Kibar, that's when he gives us the date. And so I think what's really cool is that the book of Ezekiel was opened, I think last January, almost a year ago. And that was when he started revealing what is going to happen throughout the book of Ezekiel. But it started off with um, these four signs. And now, last night, I'm reading about the prophets, and he's telling the people in the future to pay attention to to him being at the river Kibar. So I
Can't
just
make
thought,
that stuff up, can you, Christina?
no, nope. And just the fact that that's where it all started.
So, Mitzi, do you remember the video when we recorded with Erin when she was talking about the river Kabar, that there was something that she had found in her cities that meant that that was augmented time. Do you remember her saying that? Christina, I think, might have a copy of it on her computer that she was going to look into it, but I didn't know if off the top of your head you remembered how she came to that because I've been trying to do it on my own and I'm like, I can't figure out how she did that. But it is interesting that if she came to that conclusion, that
Yeah,
it meant augmentation.
I do remember her saying that. But in that video, I was kind
Oh,
of also
okay. Can
out
I
of it.
tell you? Okay, so this is what kabar means. It means length. And then the root word, okay, so kabar is H3529. It means length. And then when you look at the word root word, which is 3528, it means extent of time, a great while.
Interesting.
So it's talking about our time, right? The augmentation of time. This is later. This is our time right now.
Well, here my view on that is Ezekiel has to be talking to our time. Because if he's
Yes,
warning Israel or the Yahudim, he's way late. It's already happened.
right.
Right.
And then it also comes from the word 3527, kabar, which means to plate together, to augment,
There it is.
okay? To augment and to accumulate. So this is in a great time, uh, an extent of time or a great while.
Wow.
So yes, that's where it's at. So now we know what that is.
Yeah, I agree. Augmented time because he is interacting with folks in his own time, but his warning, Yah said he set him up to be a watchman for Israel, right?
Yeah,
He means now.
2 hour time. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So
So I
it,
bet he really looked goofy to his own time, folks.
yeah,
We think we have a hard time looking goofy.
yeah.
Mhm.
So, for you ladies who have seen the video, do you have any questions or comments? What?
I I thought it was mind-blowing and beautiful. Before you got on, I was just saying how I don't see how anybody could sit down with the calendar, the priestly order, and scripture and come away with any other reaction than there's the probability all these things could be right without us having the correct timeline, calendar, priestly order is astronomical. No human could do all this. This is the hand of Yah, and I think if you really sat down with the priestly order, the calendar, and the scriptures, there is no way we are not on the right timeline. I don't see how it's possible.
I
I mean,
Yeah.
second that.
yeah, and it's just.
Well, and
I'm
it's
blown away. I'm speechless, you know.
And what I love about it is, especially even for John and I, who are still fairly young in our journey with you guys and in our understanding that Christina, it made perfect sense. Even for, for us more newbies, it was well done and well written, and it's like, bam, it's right there. So there's no, it was like, wow, it
you
was.
could see it right away.
Yep. And you could
Okay.
understand it and you could follow it. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, because I know sometimes it's really hard for me to explain something. So I just let the scriptures do the talking, and I just put in my little 2 cents to kind of bring it together. That's all I know how to do. So, and normally I used to make videos before, but I never use my voice. I just never used it. And so now I'm kind of forced to, because I know that people prefer to hear somebody speaking to them rather than reading an hour's worth of information.
Your
Yeah,
voice
no,
was made for narration. There's no doubt about that, Kristina. You are definitely made to be a narrator.
yeah. The
Well,
and like we were saying, the only issue at all is I went back and looked when it started up. The fuzzy priestly order was pretty
yeah,
much after the 33-minute mark.
yeah,
Somehow we've got to provide those so they can actually see,
right.
exactly
Well,
what
what
we're
I'll
talking
do,
about.
Linda, do you know how to put slides into Canva?
I can talk to my husband about it.
Okay, because
I don't know how to do that.
yeah, the pictures are made up. They just need to go into a program and then a PDF made of them, and then it's done. So I could send them to you in Dropbox. I think there's like 56 slides. And
Real quick, I'm just asking, are you
yeah,
considering re-recording it over top of a new like deck, or you want to just provide these
just
as a
provide
link?
just provide the link to the Canva. They can download it, they can read it.
Got it. Okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
And maybe we can just shoot through them right now and like go through each slide and maybe would it are they clear on your slides?
yes. Oh yeah. See,
Okay.
that's what I don't understand. How is it that they're fuzzy in the video, but they're clear as day on my
Slide.
sheets, right?
Yeah, that's
You know,
weird.
they're clearer at the beginning. You can
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought, yeah. It's just
But
yeah,
then
about halfway through when you get into the nitty-gritty.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's literally after the 33-minute mark. It's when they
Yeah.
start getting
I
fuzzy.
wonder if it has to do with like the compression of the video, or I have no idea. It
then the
got
whole
lazy and it's just like, let's just move this along and
then the whole thing would be blurry. But
clean it.
it seems to me, because I had the same problem with the other video, the on Ezekiel. That one I also had the same problem. I don't understand why they are coming out fuzzy. And I really think that YouTube has a lot to do with it. Um, because when I play it on mine, I don't have a problem with fuzziness. I have problem with fuzziness when it goes onto YouTube. There's an issue, and I don't know what to do about that, but
Well, try
do,
it on here. Just try it on here, and we'll bop through the slides if you don't mind. Because a
yeah,
lot
we'll
of them,
just
we can go through fast, and then you know,
all right. Well, let me share screen real quick. Here we go. Cool. Um, okay. All right. So you guys can see that.
yep,
Okay. All right. And you guys can no problem at all.
It's super clear on
there,
my end.
yeah,
Okay. All right. So let me do this. All right. So
I think just go to the next slide to, yeah, this is
yeah, these are just scriptures
self-explanatory.
here.
yeah. Those were all fun.
Oh, wait a minute. What happened?
Are they out of order?
Yes.
Oh
They're out of
no.
order. They put it. All right. Where is Elishaba? What happened to Elishaba? Well, I kid you not. This is such, this can be such a problem.
Just skip to the ones that have the priestly order
Yeah, that's
in
a good
there.
idea.
Okay.
That one,
Okay.
that one I think showed up on okay on the video. But just see if you can blow it up on here. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, see?
And then yeah, there you go.
Like I said, I can't figure out why this does not show up.
Well, now that one on the video was you could blow it up and see it okay. So
All
keep
right,
going.
let's look at some other ones. Oh, wow, this one. Wow, Adobe put these out of order. Unbelievable.
Well, that's okay. Let's just find the priestly orders first. And all the calendars came up fine too on the video.
Okay.
Okay, that one, blow that one up so folks can see that one. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. 18 habit sets.
Yep. Then 2029.
In 2029, right?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you see Elishaba's number, 413. And then
Yep.
you see Shechaniah. And Yahusha and Shechaniah are interconnected. They both share the Gematria 391. So this is why we see Shechaniah here in 2029. Um, let's go to the next one. This is Abiyah representing 2029. Let me see. Keep going here. Yeah, isn't that amazing? Yahusha 391. How does that happen? Right?
Yep.
And his name is also 391. And then Shechaniah, they're both 391. And the only reason why I even was able to connect them was because I had studied these priests several years ago. And I was looking at the gematria of all their names, and this one struck me, and I was like, I wonder what that number is. There's something about that number, and I never thought about it until I started doing the gematria of the names. So so we see here Shechaniah
Can you blow
again.
this up a little bit,
Make it
Christina?
bigger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And let me move this over. Oops. Oh, I need to do this. Okay, so Shechaniah came in year 2017. This was when the Revelation 12 sign occurred. So the Revelation 12 sign is all about Yahusha, right? He is that child that was born. Oh, and there's something I ran into yesterday, you guys. Uh, and I can't find the video, but this has to do with the sign. Um, so on that day that the Revelation 12 sign occurred, the Vatican actually found the dragon, and the dragon was on the other side of Virgo. It was uh, right about where her right leg is, between her knee and her foot. The dragon was right there ready to devour the child. And they had a picture of it. And the thing is, the guy said that they completely erased it. It's gone. You can't find it. They eliminated it.
What do you mean erased it from Stellarium?
Yes, they took it out of Stellarium because I looked for it. I looked for it yesterday and it's not there.
Wow.
So the dragon was there. And I do distinctly remember that because it was a big thing back in, I think it was 2018, 2017, 2018, and that was when they saw the dragon. Or they saw the dragon on September 23rd, 2017, but it became big news afterward. And somebody had done a video on it. And that video is gone. It's wiped.
Well,
Even the
kind of
image,
like the
the
comet.
conception comment,
Yes,
that is
that's what.
also, they
Yes,
wiped it
gone.
out. They did
Yeah.
not want you to see it. So that that was mind blowing. And I wished I would have remembered that, but I didn't. It just didn't click. What was more in my mind was Jupiter being in her womb and the moon under her feet with the 12 stars. And he shows the exact same thing. The only difference is the dragon is on her right side and ready to devour Jupiter. I was like, wow, that was the dragon. And I remember you asking about it, Mitzi. You were asking about, well, where is the dragon? And we thought, well, it was the one at the stars, the group of stars at the north, but that's not it. There was a dragon.
They just erased it
They
from
erased it. So then
documentation.
we wouldn't, yeah. So we wouldn't put any of it together. But I ran into a video of somebody talking about it last night, and I was like, I gotta find it. I've got to find it. And I can't. I cannot find it. So anyway, I just
But
wanted to share
we
that
know it was
tidbit.
there. We know it was there in the heavens.
Right.
They've just erased the documentation trail,
Yeah.
which we're used to that.
Yep. We should know better because they just don't want us knowing what the true time is.
But you know what, though? That is more, to me, that's just more confirmation that this is the truth, or they wouldn't be working so hard to erase the
To
facts.
hide everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
Okay, so okay, we see Shechaniah for 2017, and then you've got 2026 Gamul, right?
Yes, I do have Gamul here. And um, the reason I put Gamul in here is because he is the one that kicks off the tribulation, the Great Tribulation. Gamul seems to be the start, right? He's the circle. We start something. He starts the priestly order every 294 years. He's the one that starts it. He's the one that will end it. He's 3.14.
And what's
And
interesting too, 10 is the number of judgment,
yeah,
counting inclusively from 2017 to 2026 is the judgment period. In other words, if you don't repent and get it together, here comes the Great Tribulation.
yeah, and that's interesting that you point that out because you're right. That is the 10th year.
Yeah.
It is the 10th year. Okay. And then here's the other one that was so blurry that you couldn't see it. So the next important date in which number 10 pre-Shechaniah comes in is 2029, the year of Yahusha's return on the day of Yom Kippur. This is a Jubilee year when he sets the captives free. So again, we see Shechaniah coming in the year 2029. And unfortunately, I don't have this page long enough to show week 28, which is Yom Kippur. But this is just to show that Shechaniah comes in that year and Yahusha is attached to Shechaniah. And once again, we see Elishaba 413 right here, 3.14. Another circle, right?
Yeah.
And then in year 2041, Shechaniah comes in again, and this is when Ezekiel receives not Ezekiel, but that's when he received the plans for the new temple. And
Yeah.
that's all
And
going to
isn't
be
that,
laid out.
and wasn't that year 25? Where, just
Yes,
real quick,
it's
where is that in Ezekiel, that documents that?
it's in chapter 40, verse 1.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, here it is. I'll just read it real fast.
Yep.
In the 25th year of our captivity, so counting inclusively from 2017, the 25th year is right there, 2041.
Yep.
On the 10th day of the month, at the beginning of the year, on the 10th day of the month, so that would be the 10th day of the first month, which is bringing in the lamb. In
Right.
the 14th year after the city was captured, which we've calculated out to be 2028,
Yep.
Jerusalem.
And then it would be 14. So
Right,
ignore these numbers here because this is for a different timeline. Um, so 14, this would be the 14th year right here. So, well, when you count backwards, right? When you count backwards to 2028, it is 14.
right.
Okay. So there's year 25, and then year 13 happens to be on 2029, and then the year afterward is it would be 14 if you were counting one, two, three, four, five, six, right? You'd come to 13 here. So yeah, it lines up. It all lines up. Let's see. Let's go to the next one. Oh, here's Elishaba. It mixed up I wonder why it mixed it up. Okay, so we got Elishaba, and her name in Hebrew means Yah of the oath or Yah of 7 times. The gematria of Elisha's name equals 413. The number 413 is also the mirror of 3.14, which is pi. The history of Elishaba is coming full circle to our current time, just as we are about to go into tribulation. And really, when you think about it, it's a spiral, right? It's like the spiral of time, kind of like how the sun moves, right?
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And then where am I at? Um, you know what? This put this all out of order.
It's not
Look
funny,
at
but
that. It did. Everything is out of order. All right, I want to read this, so I'm going to make it smaller. Here we go. You guys can see that, right?
yeah, and now you can see week 28 down there, like you were saying
Yes.
before.
Yep. right here, number 13. And this is what is oh, I'll wait till I get to the other one, but Zechariah prophesies the return of Yahusha on the morning of Yom Kippur in Luke 178 through 79. Through the tender mercy of our Elohim, whereby the day spring from on high hath visited us, to give light to them that sit in darkness and in the shadow of death, to guide our feet into the way of shalom. And this is going into the new era. This is putting the past behind. And now this reminds me of what I read in Baruch, in fourth Baruch, I believe it is. Or is it third Baruch? I think it's third Baruch. And I was really amazed by this. I'll go ahead and read it real quick.
Kristina, tell people what page you're on.
Hold on, I have to find it.
Are you on 570?
No.
Yeah, Christina, that there's a couple things in there that blew my mind. Keep looking. You already know this. But Luke 178-79 right there. I mean, that is I've never read it like that before, but we know Yom Kippur starts at night, but it's not holy time. And that's when his wrath is literally going around the world. And then that's what verse 79 says, to give light. So the light is coming. And when the light finally comes, the wrath is over, the shadow of death. All those who will be killed right there are killed, to guide our feet into the way of peace, which is the kingdom. I mean, it's so clear now, but yet how many times I've read that over and over so many times, and it never, well, for how many years did I not understand why the Day of Atonement started at evening, that it was part
Right.
of another day, you know? And another great point is Yahusha himself, and I forgot what slide it's on, but when he said, "Who are my," when Mary and his brothers came to come get him, they wanted to talk to him and they were waiting outside. And
Yep.
he looked at everybody and said, and obviously it was probably the Sabbath or some holy day that they weren't keeping, or they wouldn't have tried to interrupt him, right? And he said, "Who are my mother, my brothers, and my sister, but those who keep the word of my father?" In other words, it's so clear to me now, he was basically saying, they're not keeping it, but you are, and you are my true family.
Yeah, and we'll come to that slide for
Okay,
sure.
all right. But I mean, they just blew me away. I was like, how long has that been sitting there? But it never clicks because, you know, it's crazy.
Actually, I'm not going to bring this up because this has something to do with another event. Well, I'm going to save this for later. Okay. I don't want to confuse anything. So I'm going to not do that. So anyway, what we're seeing here is like you said, this is Yahusha returning in the morning, and Malachi agrees with it. But to you who fear my name, in the Son of Righteousness shall arise with the healing in his wings, and you shall go out and leap for joy like calves from the stall. So they have gone through the wrath, it is over, and now they can move, they can go forward.
Kristina,
Yes,
I just wanted, so if you can go back to that slide that you were just on.
sure.
Okay. I was just looking into, okay, so we know that when the Jubilee ends there on the 10th day of the seventh month, the 11th day of the seventh month, Bilga comes in on that
Mhm.
day. and Bilga means happiness.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
Yeah. So that kind of is just going, just going right along with what you were saying.
Yeah, cheerful, right? Um,
And one more thing, when you keep reading in Malachi 4, it says, "And you will go out and grow fat like stall-fed calves, you shall trample the wicked." So, you know,
yep,
more proof
absolutely.
that this is right after all the wicked have been destroyed.
It's awesome.
Hmm.
It's just, it's amazing. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. And Ezekiel 41:3, 1 through 3, this is where Ezekiel receives the plans, right? Ezekiel tells the reader that it has been 25 years since his captivity. So right here, we just saw, let me blow it up. We just saw the 25 years, 2041. It's been 25 years since his captivity. So that's when it's been, and it's been 14 years the since Jerusalem was stricken. Um, Ezekiel tells the reader that it has been 25 years since his captivity. In our time, it would be 25 years since the Revelation 12 sign and 14 years since the city was struck in 2028. And this is in Ezekiel 33:21. In a vision by Elohim, he is taken up to a high mountain and is shown the structure of the city as well as the new temple. Instructions on how to build it are given. And for the life of me, you guys, I cannot understand why people cannot see that there is going to be a temple built. I don't
And
understand it because it's
and
so.
sacrifices are coming back. I mean,
Yes.
it's just yeah, that's blown my mind for quite a while.
Yep. So, I don't understand why they have a hard time thinking that this temple in the millennial reign is doesn't mean anything. You know, we've got some who believe that the temple or New Jerusalem is coming down after
Right,
or before the millennial reign, and that is false. They do not
right.
have the correct timeline. They're using something else and they don't know how to use it. I don't
Well,
even know.
it's just following plain scripture, though. You cannot get to the New Jerusalem. You have to have the end of the millennial reign,
Mhm.
Satan's little season, and the great white throne judgment. Everything's burned, new heavens, new earth. Then and only then does the New Jerusalem come down, and the Father comes down with it. One
Right.
more thing I want to add, which to me proves this whole thing. Well, folks have done models following Ezekiel's directions in Ezekiel 40 to 48 chapters.
Mhm.
And the temple that's coming in the millennium dwarfs all the other temples. It is humongous in its
Right.
footprint. And they even realized that the topography of modern day Jerusalem cannot support this temple. There's not enough room, literally not enough room between the mountains. What does it say in Zechariah when his foot hits? It splits in two, making a huge valley. Zechariah 14. And what is he making the huge valley for? This temple.
Right.
The topography is laid out perfectly. So when they finally do get to building this temple, it can support this humongous, magnificent temple.
Right.
And his foot hitting changes everything around so it will fit.
Right.
He tells you that in there. How do you
Right.
not fit? It's beautiful.
And I do believe that once, um, once the wrath is over, anyone who is born into the millennial reign, also anyone, even before, I believe they're going to be way stronger than we are.
Oh yeah.
They're going to be way
Smarter.
stronger, and they're going to be able to do things that we cannot do right now. And that's just simply because, um, well, things will have changed physically within the earth, right? Um, but also, we're not going to have the influences of Hasatan and his minions. They're going to be all gone. And man will be able to use his creativity and whatever technology he finds and use it righteously to build this temple.
Yep.
So, I
Hey,
firmly believe that.
let me just throw this out there. This is neat because we like numbers, right? It's Zechariah 14:4. There's your
You're,
144.
yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
It says, and in that day his feet will stand on the Mount of Olives, which faces Jerusalem on the east, and the Mount of Olives shall be split in two from east to west, making a very large valley. Half of the mountain shall move toward the north, and half of it shall move to the south. I mean, there you go. He's making room for the temple.
Yep. And the
But
144,000 who live around that temple.
there you go. And it's Zechariah 14:4. There you go again. You can't make all this stuff up.
And see, that's the thing. The people who believe that Hasatan's little season we're in the progress of, there is no temple, and the mountains have not been split. However,
It's
somebody's
still being trampled
idea,
down by Gentiles.
right, and somebody's idea of splitting the mountains is sticking a fence in between it. And I'm like, no, no, if this is a physical movement of these mountains in order to make room for the temple.
Well, it has to be because the physical movement of those mountains coincide with the earthquake that happens when he hits. Where is that in Revelation? And it says it's the greatest earthquake that has been since man has been on the earth.
And
And it's
that
when,
sounds like on that sounds like on the during Yom Kippur.
oh, it's when his foot hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on there. Um, Hang on, I'll find
Is
it.
it
But
is it
but that just
Revelation 19?
I think it is. But what I'm saying is Zechariah 14:4, and then Revelation 19. Where is it? It's the same, it's the same referenced earthquake is my point. Let me
Gotcha.
I'll find it real quick.
Okay.
Earthquake. I forgot where it is, but
Did you say Zechariah 1944 or what?
four, 14:4,
Oh, okay.
144.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, 14:4.
Is it 1618, Mitzi?
Yes, I believe it is.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was giving the wrong address.
I thought it was 19 too. 16, 18. Yeah, okay. So the seventh angel poured out his bowl into the air. So here we are. It's right after the seventh bowl, which would make sense. Then Yom Kippur hits. And there were noises and thunderings and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake. Such a mighty and great earthquake has not occurred since men were on earth. And then the great cities divided, the nations fell. And here we go, verse 20. Every island fled out of the way, and the mountains were not found, and great hail from heaven fell upon men. So that's right at the end, right? So when that
Yes.
hits,
Yep. Wow.
so you can just put a note in your Bible to reference Zechariah 14:4. That's the same earthquake that does all that.
Yep.
So no, that's not a fence. That's literally mountains moving.
That was great what you said, Christina, about the people that think that we're in the short season, that hasn't happened yet. Because
Right. It
that
hasn't.
hasn't split and the temple hasn't been built, because that's evidence that we have gone at that point. That's evidence that we've gone through all that.
Well, I asked somebody and they told me, well, wouldn't you consider putting a fence in between separating the mountains?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, yeah, but it's not an earthquake. It's
Mm-mm.
not, um, it, that's not what is described in scripture.
Right.
So a lot of these ideas are just plain, they're just plain crazy because it
Well,
has,
it's deception to take us away from the truth, you know, and also to divide us so that we won't be on the same page. Because we all need to be on the same page. Whatever his page is, that's where we need to be, right?
Yep. Well, and another big thing too, that's why I keep hitting this calendar and the priestly order so hard. Because when you do put that calendar together, we are still in the sixth day.
Mm.
That's what I mean. It's just the probability that all this is lining up yet not be the right calendar, it cannot happen. It's
Right.
statistically impossible.
Mm.
So, so there's so many reasons why, you know, that it cannot be.
yeah. Um, okay, so here was another thing. This is Yahusha, the Gematria. And when you add up 3 plus 9 plus 1, it equals 13. Well, that points to April 13th. Um,
I
let's-
still can't get over the Friday the 13th thing. The Satan knows this calendar.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. And it's not on a holy day that the
No,
pit is opened.
no, y'all wouldn't let it.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so yeah, this is so out of order.
Mm.
I can't believe that Adobe did this to me because I have them in order in my
Oh,
folder. And then uh this is a little blurb about Gabriel. So um I don't think I need to read this. Hopefully this turned out okay on the
Yeah,
video. Okay.
yeah, pretty much everything did except for the priestly
Okay.
order.
And you know what's funny? Gabriel is the seventh witness. He's the seventh witness in Luke, right?
mm.
Well, and I did not put this in the video, but I'm just going to say it right here. Luke is another witness. How is Luke another witness? Because the way that this is pointing out, or the way that it's written out within the verses, Elishba's conception and the hiding of herself for 5 months is Luke 124. And that is the day that the pit opens. So it's 124.
Christina,
Yeah.
You said five of the seven witnesses point to 124. Who are the two that do not?
Oh, no, no. Also, Yahusha, wait a minute. No, who Yahusha does. No, the two that didn't was Herodes. I'm talking about the ones that I looked at their names, but they don't really have anything to do with what is going on here. So I looked at Herodes and I looked at the other name. I can't think of his name at the top of, but it's a letter that Luke is writing to somebody.
Okay.
So I didn't even include them in there.
Okay.
But all of them point to the 24th day or the 13th of April.
So actually, so I just want to make sure I'm getting this right because I'm the one that writes the descriptions in Ezekiel's key. So
Mhm.
so all seven of the witnesses that you s- included in this Luke study all point to 124, and so actually, but you're now including Luke. Um,
Yes,
okay,
yes,
so there are eight
yes.
if you include Luke. Okay, thank you.
Right. Yep. And Daniel does too. Daniel was a big surprise because when he was waiting for Gabriel, he waited 21 days. Um, After he was given the vision, which was on the third day of the first month, for 21 days, he was sick. After seeing what he did, he was physically sick.
Mm.
And he couldn't eat. He um, fasted from desirable foods, we'll say, and he didn't even anoint himself for those 3 weeks.
Mm.
And he gives the day, the 24th day of the first month when Gabriel returned to him.
Yep.
Okay, so Daniel is another witness. Also, when he when Gabriel came to visit him, he was with a group of men and they hid themselves. They didn't see what Daniel saw, but great fear came over them and they hid themselves. So that connected to Elishaba hiding herself, right? And this is on 124. That connection was mind-blowing to me. Let me see here. Okay, the gematria of Gabriel's name is 246. When looking at the calendar, we see another agreement to the date of the bottomless pit to open up in April of 2029. Taking the number, I simply divided it into two numbers, 24 and 6. The number 24 refers to the 24th day of the first month on Yah's calendar, which is the 6th day of the week. I saw that. I was like, Gabriel is flat out showing us right here. Day 6 on the 24th day. So there's no doubt in my mind that Father is showing us over and over and over again what is going to happen. And I know that there are people who are skeptical about gematria because of what they've heard about it. But you know what? Father created all numbers, he created all equations, and he put them there for specific people to find and see it.
I
And
was trying to explain that to Wayne today because we were watching your video at the beginning of it because Mitzi sent it this morning.
Mhm.
And I said, if you don't understand this, you can't understand the rest. And Father gave it to us in perfect, like, And if you don't say Elishaba, because he was having trouble with Elizabeth and Elishaba, if you
Mhm.
don't pick the Hebrew letters, you don't know the number of the letter. And you can't add it up and come up with the number that you came was 413.
413,
Yeah, and
413.
mirrored pi, which is so important. So, so I was trying to explain to him, you have to almost forget everything that the enemy has taught you.
You have to.
You have to. You can't.
Have to
You
be
can't
able to do
reference
it.
it. Or he says, "Well, it doesn't make sense." I said, "No, it won't." And you're absolutely right. Father only gives us that understanding.
Can I
Father,
ask?
exactly right. Sorry.
No, I just wanted to ask, so when you are doing the gematria, are you using like the modern day Hebrew, or what are you using?
I'm used modern day Hebrew, Paleo Hebrew, it's all the same. It's all the same thing. It's they're just different pictographs. Um,
Well, because I
the
know that the modern day Hebrew is a form of a Yiddish
it,
when
it
it comes
it
to,
right. Well, it honestly it doesn't matter. It I am looking at the letters and the numbers. It doesn't matter if you're looking at Paleo Hebrew, the gematrial number is going to be the same. So Aleph is always going to be one, Beit is always going to be two,
Hmm.
Gimel is always going to be three, Dalet
okay.
is always going to be four. So
So you're not using like the English spellings or nothing like that. You are
no,
using
I am
the Hebrew.
literally
Yeah,
using the Hebrew.
Excellent.
because
Okay.
it won't work, right, Christina?
No, it will
Right.
Oh,
not
the
work. It
numbers
will
would
not
be
work.
wrong.
It
Because
will not work.
Jesus is not. Yeah, that's the wrong.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
asking that so anyone that comes in and says, well, you know,
Right. And
so now it's in the
this,
video.
right. And okay, so let me show you. So I use the AHLB. Okay, this shows the Paleo Hebrew or the ancient Hebrew, whatever you want to call it. They use these. The gematria is still the same. And I also use this. This is the modern Hebrew. It's the same. Okay. They're just different pictographs of the same letters.
Hmm.
Okay. So I'll show you an example, hopefully. Oh, here we go. Here's an example. Gabriel. So um I used the Hebrew, the modern Hebrew, and then I give you the value of each of these letters, and then I add them all up and you get the total value, which is 246. And Father makes it easy. I didn't have to add, subtract, and multiply to get where I got. All I had to do was take the 24. Oh my gosh, there's 24. And then there's the sixth day.
Oh, perfect.
Okay. I didn't have to jump through a bunch of hoops to get me where I'm at. I just simply recognized the gematria and where they're related. And you can't just do this you can't just do this with the regular gematria. I've been doing gematria for years.
Yeah.
So
And back to it being called satanic. Well, who is the author and creator of everything?
Father
Yah,
is.
right? Right. And then Satan comes along. He doesn't create anything, but he comes along and counterfeits it and twists it for deception. So yes, the occult use this too, but the difference is Father's is always simple, straightforward. There's no shenanigans. There's no, and I look at it like this is the Father dotting I's and crossing T's.
Mhm.
It's perfection any way you want to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Scriptural, calendar, everything. I mean, he gives so many different witnesses in so many different ways. It's complete perfection. And of
Right.
course, just like, I've been accused of being an astrologist because we're looking at the heavens now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, that is Yah's creation and he's using it for truth and righteousness. Well, of course, Satan has perverted it. It's just like everything else. There's Yah's version and then there's Satan's perverted version. Back to the two
And
trees.
everybody knows what the zodiac is that lives
Right.
on this earth, but they don't know what the Mazzaroth is. And that's
Exactly.
Father's name for the exact same thing that he has corrupted.
I think
Exactly.
I think the people who would have the most problem with the use of gematria are those coming out of witchcraft
Mm-hmm.
or some other heathen religion, if you will, or even out of just Christianity, because they've been taught that gematria is evil. Looking at the stars is evil.
Right.
Yeah. Enoch is evil.
Yeah,
Right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And is it the number 13, the number of rebellion? And would
Yeah.
he
it is.
have it come on that day that the pit opens up on the day of rebellion?
Of course. Okay, so I'm going to move to the next slide. I'm going to make this one a little smaller here. And I think this is one that everybody was having a hard time seeing. Gabriel's visit with Zachariah and Mary spurred my memory, of Gabriel speaking with Daniel several hundred years before. Reading Daniel chapters 8 through 10 reveals connections to Zechariah and Elisheba in Luke chapter 1. On the third day of the first month, Gabriel visits Daniel at the banks of the Ulai River in 816. Daniel just had a vision of the last days, and the messenger is there to interpret what Daniel saw. And so when we get to verse 17, the number 17 automatically drew me back to the year 2017 when the Revelation 12 sign occurred.
Wow.
Okay. So it says here, so he came near where I stood, and when he came, I was afraid and fell upon my face. But he said unto me, Understand, O Son of Man, for at the time of the end shall be the vision. So what he's saying is that the end times is when these events are going to occur. So 17 was a clue to me that that in the year 2017 was when the Revelation 12 sign occurred. And I keep saying it over and over. And by the way, when I was looking at this video, watching this video, the dragon eyes were right here. The dragon was literally right here.
Wow. Mm.
So, and they totally wiped the internet and Stellarium. It's no longer in Stellarium because I looked for it and I could not find it.
Christina, I'm so sorry. I had my chat box open, and were you circling an area where the dragon was?
Yeah,
I
right
couldn't see
here.
it. Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
the dragon was located right about here.
Okay, thank you.
So you know, anyway, this is what I understand, and this is exactly what came to my mind reading Daniel chapter 8. It's about the Revelation 12 sign. This is what Father wanted me to see, and this is where it took me. And this is where we begin our count. It's 12 years from 2017 to 2029 when Yahusha returns.
And you know what struck me, Christina, when you were talking about the dragon's eyes there nipping at her heels, just like the prophecy in Genesis,
Yeah,
right?
what is that in Genesis? It
3,
will,
maybe?
yeah, Genesis 3. Let's look at that. And whoever gets there, please read it. Here it is. It's in 3:15.
Okay.
And I put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He shall crush your head, and you shall crush his heel.
Right. Mm-mm-mm. Wow.
Okay. Does anybody else have any comment or whatnot? Any
On that particular slide or
on
the whole.
anything, actually.
Okay.
Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
I wanted to go where to Miriam's to
Okay. Let me see if I can find.
That's a good one because Wayne goes, how could Miriam mean what that says it means?
I bet it does.
You know? But
Let
he
me
was asking
see.
that question. At least he was watching.
hey,
Okay.
but did we get all the priestly orders?
I
Have you
believe we have.
okay,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
Okay, so here we are with Miriam. I don't know how that ended up in the wrong spot. Okay, so Miriam's name in the Greek is G3137, and it means to be rebelliously bitter. Miriam is also the mother of Yehusha. In the Strongs, the name Miriam is H4813, which again means rebelliously. Mary represents the rebellious nation of Israel who will not guard the commandments nor the correct calendar of Yah. Yehusha even points out that his own mother and brothers were not in complete obedience or keeping the correct time. They were standing outside the group with whom Yehusha was speaking. So in Matthew 12:46 through 50, it says, while he yet talked to the people, behold, his mother and his brethren stood without on the outside, desiring to speak with him. Then one said unto him, behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without or outside of the group, desiring to speak with you. But he answered and said unto him that told him, who is my mother, and who are my brethren? And he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples and said, behold my mother and my brethren, for whoso shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother. So he is pointing out specifically and saying that his brothers and his mother are not on the same page with him. They are not keeping the calendar and they are not keeping the same, they're just not keeping the same festivals. Well, they are, but just not at the right time. And
It was even happening back then.
yeah, it
They were
was.
doing the Saturday Sabbath or whatever it was back
They're on, I believe Mary and uh her other sons are on a lunar calendar.
then.
They're
Oh,
keeping
okay.
what the priests are keeping.
Mm, mm,
Okay.
yeah.
Um,
Kind of like
Mitzi,
John referenced the Jewish feast, the feast of the Jews, and
right.
Yahushua wasn't keeping it. So there's two calendars going in there. It is tough to find. It's subtle, but it's there. Dawn wants you to show the last calendar page again, the last one you showed, I guess, the blow up. I don't know if you remember.
Is that the one with the Virgin? Is it this one?
I think so.
I
Well,
think that's the last one you showed that had the space where the dragon eyes were, but they're
Yeah,
not there
yeah,
anymore.
the eyes were right about here.
Right.
And I looked for them in Stellarium and I literally could not find it.
they probably wiped it.
Yeah, yep. They wiped a lot of things. Um, okay, so let's
no,
go back to Miriam.
no, no.
Guys, can you guys give me a moment?
Sure, sure. Dawn, you're breaking up. Maybe you can type what you were looking for.
Oh, I'm
Well, there
sorry.
you
The
are.
calendar was that.
Does anybody else have any comments or questions about the presentation?
I have a comment. I think it's very well done, and we're only like maybe 30 minutes in, and it just kind of puts everything in perspective and what a tremendous amount of work
Oh yeah.
that went into this. Good grief. But I so appreciate her taking her time to do this.
Yeah, it is unbelievable.
And there wasn't an earlier time for this to be presented by Father. This is now the time.
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to be before. Everybody's trying to figure out the prophecy, but in his time, always
Yeah.
in his
Yeah. Okay, Dawn says on 2029, my dates for the calendar I have are off. It looks like 20, it looks like 2020 is what shows what you have for 2029. Sorry, 2030. Um, you're not talking about the priestly order calendar. You're talking about Okay, I think what
this
the source of the
calendar.
problem is, Dawn, is we have figured out so our older calendars, 2029, but because everything shifted when we understood how to do the calendar right. So back when we used to think Sunday was the Sabbath, now we realize it's Monday. So you probably have an older calendar. So Linda's recently posted the newer calendars. So when you look at 2029, all this should be matching up. So 124 in the year 2029 is April 13th on a Friday.
Did Linda post those in band or where?
Yeah, and actually, I have even more recent. There's not a lot that has been changed. Like if you ever go in and search under hashtag calendar, you'll be able to find it. But what I'm saying is, I have since updated it. It's minor changes, but if you want to wait to print the most recent one, I do have to give Ray an updated version. So I'll talk to him about posting that this week. But
So go ahead, Linda.
I was just going to say, if you wanted to, Dawn, I don't know, I can email you. I can try to email you a copy of it.
Okay, I can't remember where I left off, you guys.
We were
Um,
talking about the two different calendars that Yahusha's own family was using the
Oh,
calendar.
right. Yeah, they were. And Yahusha tells us right there in Matthew that they were not observing the same times he was. And he made it a point to
Call them out.
express this in scriptures.
Yeah. And
However,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now I see that so clearly, but how many times has everybody read through that and not realized what was going on? Because had they been keeping the same calendar, they would have been in the group with Yahusha. Think about it. He wasn't just meeting with people on random days. Not crowds like that.
So the
right.
disciples and him were really mavericks to the Pharisees.
Oh, you better
Oh
believe
yeah,
it.
because
They
they
wanted to
already figured
kill
out
him.
this other stuff, right? And
Yeah, they wanted to kill him. He
yeah.
was threatening their power hold that
Oh,
they worked so hard to steal from the true Israelites. That's why all the Zadok priests had been run off to Qumran,
yeah,
right?
I get
So,
it.
yeah,
It's
they didn't
crazy.
like him coming in there shoving them around.
Which gives me chill bumps when I think about what Father has given us.
Yeah, you better
I
believe
just
it.
astonished.
Yeah, you better believe it.
Amazing. Thank you, Father. Hmm.
Yeah, and then there's another part, and I can't remember which book it is. I think it's in John, where I believe that Mary is finally on the same page because he says to I think to one of his disciples, "Behold your mother."
Yeah,
Uh,
John, he
It's
said it to
John, yeah,
John.
when he's on the cross, right?
yeah.
Christina,
Um,
can you put that other page that you were working on with the Miriam just
oh, yeah. Let's go
yeah,
back to that. Let's go back to Mary.
thank you.
Let me see. It's kind of hard to see in this, so just give me a second here. Okay. Um, the root word of Miriam's name is Strong's H4805, meaning bitterness and rebellious. And these are the scriptures that use that word H4805, Marie. Psalm 5:10, Destroy thou them, O Elohim, let them fall by their own counsels, cast them out in the multitude of their transgressions, for they have rebelled against thee. Psalm 107, 10 through 12. Such as sit in darkness and in the shadow of death, being bound in affliction and iron, because they rebelled against the words of El and despised the counsel of the Most High. Therefore he brought down their heart with labor, they fell down, and there was none to help. This sounds like Yom Kippur right there.
Yeah, it does.
Isaiah 63:10, but they rebelled and vexed his Holy Spirit. Therefore he was turned to be their enemy, and he fought against them. Ezekiel 20, verse 8. But they rebelled against me and would not hearken unto me. They did not every man cast away the abominations of their eyes, neither did they forsake the idols of Egypt. Then I said, I will pour out my fury upon them to accomplish my anger against them in the midst of the land of Egypt. So she represents the rebellious people. And that's why she's a witness, right? What do we have today? We have multitudes of rebellious people. um, we are we are told to remember Miriam, who spoke in rebellion against Moshe, who was representing the word of Yah. And this if we remember, Miriam was speaking against Moshe. Okay, and we are not supposed to do that with our leaders, right? Deuteronomy 24:9. Remember what Yahuwah thy Elohim did unto Miriam by the way, after that ye were come forth out of Egypt. Yahuwah is bringing to remembrance the past and why he disciplined them in the wilderness. This is also the other connection. Deuteronomy 32:5-10. They have sinned, not pleasing him, spotted children, a froward and perverse generation. Do ye thus recompense Yahuwah? Is the people thus foolish and unwise? Did not he himself thy father purchase thee and make thee and form thee? Remember the days of old, consider the years for past ages. Ask thy father, and he shall relate to thee, thine elders, and they shall tell thee. When the Most High divided the nations, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the nations according to the number of the angels of Elohim. And his people Yaakov became the portion of Yahuwah. Israel was the line of his inheritance. He maintained him in the wilderness and burning thirst in a dry land. He led him about and instructed him and kept him as the apple of the eye. This is going to happen again. This is why this is being brought forth into our time frame right now. Miriam is reminding us of this. And here I state, Yahuwah will maintain Israel in the last year of the tribulation, showing great mercy to those who have repented. These will be they who enter the millennial reign, where they will be taught again how to keep the commandments. The Levitical and Zadok priests will be reinstated and the laws of sacrifice returned. Ezekiel 44:15.
Now, I think we need to remember that we've been purchased from the enemy. He doesn't own us anymore. He doesn't. And sometimes I don't really keep that concept in my mind. We were paid for. We're out of there. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Purchased
we
by
we
his
just gotta
blood.
walk out, right?
I
We
know
have to
it.
choose
Wow.
and walk out of this
Yes.
world.
Yes. Bought and paid for. A great price, but bought and paid.
Yeah, every human he's laid salvation at their feet. We just have to choose it and walk in it, right? That's our part. He's
But we
done
have
the
to
hard
repent.
work.
We have to
A-
give up ourselves.
Absolutely. If
Yeah.
you're walking in it, you've repented.
You got to repent. You got to. But it's just
It's just most people, it's sad, are so deceived they cannot see. They
mm,
just
mm,
can't see.
yeah.
The gematria for Miriam's name is 290 or is 29. For those of you who don't know, zero has no value in gematria, which symbolizes the year 2029. The bottomless pit is opened. So 29, 2 plus 9 equals 11. By mirroring 29 to make it 92, we also get 9 plus 2 equals 11. This takes us to Revelation 9, 2 through 11. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of Yahuwah in their foreheads. And to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months. And their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man. And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle, and on their heads were as it were crowns like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men. And they had hair as the hair of women, and their teeth were as teeth of lions. And they had breastplates as it were breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was as the sound of chariots of many horses running to battle. And they had tails like unto the scorpion, and there were stings in their tails, and their power was to hurt men 5 months. Hold up. Oops. There we go. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon. And so that was how I connected Miriam to the 24th day of the first month, the opening of the pit. And also, I was able to connect Miriam to Second Baruch chapter 29, verses 1 through 8, which I think is absolutely amazing. Second Baruch 29, 1 through 8. And he answered and said to me, whatever will then befall will befall the whole earth. Therefore, all who live will experience them. For at that time I will only protect those who are found in the same days in this land. And it shall come to pass when all is accomplished that was to come to pass in those parts, that the Messiah will then begin to be revealed. And Behemoth will be revealed from his place, and Leviathan will ascend from the sea. Those two great monsters which I created on their fifth day of creation, and will have kept until that time, and then they will be for food for all that are left. The earth will also yield its fruit 10,000-fold, and on each vine there will be 1,000 branches, and each branch will produce 1,000 clusters, and each cluster produce 1,000 grapes, and each grape produce a core of wine. And those who have hungered will rejoice. Moreover, also they will behold marvels every day. For winds will go forth from me to bring every morning the fragrance of aromatic fruits, and at the close of the day clouds distilling the dew of health. And it will come to pass at that same time that the treasury of manna will again descend from on high, and they will eat of it in those years, because these are they who have come to the consummation of time. I thought that was absolutely beautiful that Second Baruch has even spoken of this. He's another witness.
And that makes sense because the destruction of the world is going to be so complete. It's just, out now the Feast of Tabernacles, Sukkot, right? I think they're gonna have surf and turf from Leviathan and Behemoth, but after that, there's no crops. I mean, if you look at one of the last bowls of wrath, it's the over 100-pound hailstones that fall. There's
Yep,
no crops. There's no nothing. So it's gonna take time to get that going again. So in the interim, there you go. It's manna.
they'll be eating manna, and Father will be fasting them, right? They will be fasted for those days, so then they learn his
Calendar.
rules.
They're
Yeah,
cleansed physically, spiritually, right? And then
just
they'll start again with the right food, the right way, the right water, everything.
right. And that's why Miriam took us back. That's why we were told to remember Miriam back in the Exodus, because it comes again full circle. We're going to see the Exodus again. And I think that is it for hers. Oh, there was one that I really wanted to show you. This one occurred to me at about probably midnight. when I was working on these slides. So let's go there. This has to do with Hoopa. And Hoopa is the 13th. He is the 13th.
Priest.
Yes, he's the 13th priest. And these are definitely out of order. I can't believe that Adobe did that to me. So, let's see, Daniel. So I did the gematria for Daniel, and it's 85. 8 plus 5 equals 13. There are 4 Hebrew letters in Daniel's name, so you get 413 or April 13th on the Gregorian calendar. The number 13 is also connected to Hoopa, the 13th Zadok priest. Hoopa. And he is found in 1 Chronicles 24:13. There you go, 24:13. Hoopa comes in the 4th week when the pit opens, and Hoopa comes back again in the week of Yom Kippur. So there you have it. Hoopa has come around full circle also. He is also another witness. So Yah provided more than 7 witnesses.
Okay, so Christina, I just want to make sure I got them all. In addition to the 7 in Luke, Luke being the 8th, Daniel, Baruch, and also Hoopa. Anyone
Yes.
else?
I don't think so, but I'm sure
There's more.
there's
Well,
more.
Jeconiah, right?
Jeconiah,
Oh, that's
yes.
right. Yep.
Yep. And so Hoopa's name means canopy. They're under the canopy of Yah, under his protection, right? This fits so wonderfully. I'm speechless myself. Just doing this, I am truly speechless because it's all pointing out. It's pointing what is going to happen in the future. There's no other calendar that will do this.